Welcome to Encouraging Word, a brief daily word of encouragement from the Bible. I'm Dave. I'm in Killarney, Manitoba. I'm really glad that you've joined us today. I've been reading the story of Joseph again. He had a God-given dream, but his brothers hated him. They sold him into slavery. Joseph ends up in prison, being unjustly charged. And he spends years in prison, doesn't get out. And then finally, after a period of time, instead of becoming bitter and angry, he continues to trust God, and he ends up being second in command throughout all of Egypt. And his brothers come to him unknowingly, and he has the opportunity to get even. He has the opportunity for a little payback, but he doesn't. In fact, he says to them in Genesis 50, verses 19 to 21, he says, "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So then don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children." And he reassured them and spoke kindly to them. So many times when we go through difficult periods, we assume that God intended to harm us in some way. He's going to teach us a lesson. And that simply is not the case. God intends to use the painful experiences of our lives in order to produce something great, something good in our lives. And just because others intended to harm us, by their actions or by their words, perhaps, that doesn't mean that God intends them to let them have their way. Do you understand that God has a plan for you? That God intends to bless you and use you. He intends to do something good in your life. In Jeremiah 29, the prophet is speaking to the Israelites who've been taken into captivity. And he says to them, God says to them, "I have a plan for you." He says, I know the plans I have for you, Jeremiah 29. In Philippians chapter 1, verse 6, Paul is writing from jail, and he says to his readers, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ. God has a plan and purpose for your life. He's not going to be distracted or sidetracked from seeing that plan fulfilled. God is working in your life. Years ago, we had a children's evangelist in our church, and she was a ventriloquist, and she used a puppet, and his name was Butch, and he used to sing a song that said, "He's still working on me to make me what I need to be." It took him just a week to make the sun and stars, or the moon and stars, the sun and the earth and Jupiter and Mars. How loving and patient he must be, because he's still working in me. Years ago, I saw this pin that said, "Please be patient. God isn't finished with me yet." And I mentioned it during a sermon one day, talking about the fact that God has a plan for our lives and God's working in us. And some months later, at Christmas time, I actually got this in the mail. And this is what it looks like. And I know you can't read it because it's backwards on the camera. It's all rusty in the back. But I got this given to me, and along with a note. And this is what the note said. "This button is literally one of a kind. I searched many websites. This was the only one I found. When I went to go and order this item for you, the currency was in NOK. I've never even heard of that before, but apparently NOK is the Norwegian dollar. It was not very expensive, but I thought it was pretty cool that it literally came from across the world." Your sermon touched me that day, and I hope you enjoy and treasure this little gift. We really do appreciate everything you do that is unseen. Have yourself a Merry Christmas. That came from a lady by the name of Julie. We've been talking about blessing people this last Sunday and throughout the week, and certainly this little button was a blessing to me, and Julie's kindness and act of kindness was certainly a blessing to me. Today I just want to remind you that God intends to bless you. He intends to use you. He intends to do something good, something great in your life, not only in you, but through you. And you may have to be patient with yourself. God's not finished working in you yet. Let's pray together. Father, thank you for your love and kindness to us. Thank you for your grace. Lord, as we learned from Joseph, when he had an opportunity to pay back evil for evil, instead he spoke kindly and blessed his own brothers, knowing that you had been working in the situation the entire time. So, Father, I pray that you will remind us today, whatever happens, whatever's been said, God, you have a purpose and a plan for our lives, and you intend to bring good out of our lives. So I thank you for your blessings today. I thank you for the kindness of others and for the blessing of other people that they give to us. I think of Julie and this kindness that she showed to me. I pray blessing upon her today. And I ask you, God, today that you would just minister by your Spirit in your name to each person that's watching. We bless you today and we honor you. In Jesus' name we ask it. Amen. Hey, thanks so much for taking time to be with us. God willing, I'll be back on Monday with another word of encouragement. If you happen to be in the Killarney area, we would love to see you. On Sunday, we meet 10:30 in the morning for a worship time. We preach the word of God. We sing some songs of praise. And then on Sunday night this week, we have a gospel concert and dessert night. We're asking you to bring some dessert, something to share with some people. And we have a couple that's going to be with us from Ontario. They're going to be singing and ministering. It's going to be a fun time. Just relaxed and a concert and desserts. I mean, it can't get any better than that. And so we'd love to join you at Sunday night at 7 o'clock in our church. And so we would love to see you and trust that you can join us. So trust you have a great weekend. God bless.